Hi everyone, it's Dr. V. Welcome back to my channel. Yay! I'm here doing a pick a card reading for you. And this is, are you on their mind? Do you ever cross their mind is really the format of this reading. So a real quick thing, if you've been a subscriber for a while, you'll know that the pick a card is a different format for me. However, I'm still using the same layouts and asking the same questions as I was in the previous readings on my channel. I'm just doing a little more of variety so people can feel like they have some choice and some autonomy in what they're choosing. So I hope that you enjoy that format. Really quick, we're doing the creator of the Intuit Oracle, who also has her own channel, is giving away one of these decks to a lucky viewer. So if you are interested in entering, all you have to do is subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it on your social media, and then comment below that you've done those things and you will be entered into the drawing. So one other thing really quick, if you want to join me for my live event in Long Beach in a couple of weeks, there's still some spaces available. You can find registration info in the description box below. If you'd like to purchase a private reading or join the private Facebook group, also in the description box. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and say my invocation prayer. And as I do that, I'd like to invite you to take some time to look and intuitively choose which deck feels aligned to you. So we have deck A, the rose quartz, B, the jasper, and deck C, I think this is Lodolite or Fluorite, which was gifted to me by my friends over at Amityville Apothecary. So take a moment, just get in tune with your intuition and choose whichever pile feels right to you. You can choose a couple if that feels more appropriate to you as well. Spirit, please use me as a clear channel for communication. I draw a sacred circle around this space, setting my ego to the outside. I call upon my ancestors, divine love, higher wisdom, source energy to be with me, to flow through me, to use me to deliver the messages that are meant for the person, for the people that are here. I ask for wisdom, love, and guidance through this reading, and so it is. All right, guys, let's go ahead and just get started. Hey, Group A, this is for the that chose the rose quartz for your reading today. So let's go ahead and jump in. The first question that I'm going to ask is, does this person miss you? So we have Lily, established ambition, experience, development, achievement, longevity, mature, and sexuality. So I feel like what this is saying is that they do have this sense of you being this kind of like a lily. I'm thinking about like a lily of the valley, a beautiful kind of flower, fragrant, majestic. I really see this person as being in an energy where they view you in this way. They view you as someone who is mature, someone who's accomplished some things, they feel like you have this established sense about you. Okay, so they feel like you're a mature person that offers some stability, that you're not like bouncing all over the place without any clear energy. And I feel like because of that, they miss that energy, that stability. Maybe you were very grounding for them. Maybe when they were unstable and going off the chains and doing stuff that they shouldn't have done, or stuff that they didn't really want to be doing but were doing anyway, that you were kind of keeping them grounded and keeping them feeling solid. And without you in their life, they feel sort of like one of those like figures that you see outside of stores, like where it's like a guy that's like flopping in the wind, you know, and that's sort of how they feel when they see you. So they miss that stability and maturity and the sense of grounding that you brought to them. If you had a sexual connection with this person, they also miss that. They miss the depth and the intensity and the power of this connection. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one and see what is it that they want you to know. soulmate. So if you've been wondering, if you've been asking yourself that question, do they even think about me? Do they even care about me? What do they think of me? They actually do feel like you are to them a soulmate. So whether you use the language of twin flame, or whether you use soulmate or sacred sidekick, or whatever label you apply to your connection, they understand it as a soulmate connection. They understand it as a soul bond. So even if they don't understand the label or use the same label, they definitely have this sense that you are their person, that you're their soulmate. And so a lot of people have different perspectives on soulmates and different views. But at the end of the day, what this is saying, what they want you to know, is that they know that this is a sacred soul connection, even if they haven't acknowledged that to you, or even if they haven't said anything to you about it. So what is it that's holding them back? So we have the 10 of Cups in reverse. So for you, your person might be in a different situation, meaning another relationship or another commitment, or maybe they're just committed to a family situation, like taking care of elderly parents, but they're in a space where they're in a situation that is not fulfilling them. So the 10 of Cups is one of the best cards in the tarot. It really is. It's like, in the upright it really means happy home, happy life, things are working out. Now, when it's in reversed, it's like, it's like this sense of overall kind of, nothing really to complain about. Things seem okay. They may seem pretty happy overall, but they are not completely content. They're still feeling a sense of like discontentment. They know that where they are is not exactly where they want to be. So this is a situation where they are, could be in a relationship, or another situation where they feel like they're kind of repressed, like they're not able to express themselves. They might have someone or something in their life that's kind of possessive, not letting them soar and to be free and, do like float like a butterfly. This is also about just not being in alignment. It's just like in a situation that doesn't fully appeal, but it feels like they feel like they have to be there, that for some reason they need to stay, they need to continue to be involved in this situation. And so it's like they're trying to make the best of it. Okay. So do they want to reunite? That's the interesting. We have Santa Muerte. To them, at least in their mental space right now, they know that there's a transformation that needs to happen. It's like they understand that there is a transformation. This is all about, things coming to a completion and coming to, you see the pregnancy as well. There's definitely this energy of feeling like that they want to have something rebirth. They want to have something come back together. They're also aware that it's not that simple. It's not as easy as they might want it to be, as they might think it should be, right? They know that in order to have that there's going to have to be a massive transformation, that something else is going to have to come to an end. And it's going to be a painful ending, and it's going to be a difficult ending. And so I feel like there's this energy of kind of being pulled in two directions, where they want to come forward, they want to move towards you, they think about you in all these great ways. They would love the opportunity to reunite and come back together and have this new experience with you. But they're afraid of the transformation, the death that has to occur, that there's something that has to come to a complete end. This is like, they understand that. They know it in an intuitive level, that they have to make this exchange, that they can't hold on to the past and the things that they've been holding on to, the things that they have felt have brought them joy and peace and abundance, and where they're, like I said, where's that other card, where they're not totally happy, right? But they're not entirely unhappy either. And so this is really the message that I'm getting from this, is part of what is going on with them, is that many times, and I've told this story before on my channel, so if you heard me, just bear with me. There's a story about two farmers. They live next to each other, and one farmer comes over and he's sitting on the porch with the other, and the farmer whose home they're visiting has a dog, and the dog is lying on the porch and kind of whimpering, just like laying there kind of whimpering. And the other farmer, the visiting farmer, kind of notices it and thinks that it's kind of weird, but doesn't really say anything. And then the dog just keeps laying there whimpering. So the second farmer finally says, like, is something wrong with your dog? Like, why is he lying there like whining and whimpering? And the first farmer says, well, he's laying on an exposed nail. And the second farmer, kind of, astonished, says, why doesn't he move? And the first farmer shrugs and says, I don't know, I guess it doesn't hurt bad enough yet. And so this is what the situation is with this person, is that they're not entirely happy. They feel like there's something missing. They know that this isn't really where they're meant to be, but they're not uncomfortable enough yet to make the decision to move toward this transformation. Sometimes people have to hit what we would call rock bottom, or it has to be something that becomes an extreme pain before they finally say, okay, I'm gonna deal with this. This is a person who is kind of comfortable walking around with an aching back instead of just going to the chiropractor and getting it fixed. So this is definitely part of what's going on, is that they have this pull towards you. They're like, they know you're their soulmate. They know that you're their person. They would love to come back. They would love to have this kind of flipped energy where, if it was upright, where they feel happy, they feel abundant, they feel like everything is working out the way that they wanted it to, the way that they dream about it. But they're not yet in a space where they're ready to face the endings that would have to come in order to create this space for that. So it's that energy of, I'd love to come back and have this relationship if I could do it without hurting anybody, or if it was just easy peasy lemon squeezy, they'd do it in a second. But because it's not, they're hesitant. Okay, so what is it that they fear? You guys, I swear, you cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this up. Transformation. That's the biggest thing that they fear right now, is transformation. They fear going into that energy of letting things transform. And they're not sure what would be on the other side. They're not sure. This is also a 22, which is 11-11 twice. So, or 11-11. Rather. So they really are afraid of that. Okay. I'm going to read this from the book to you because I feel like it's important. After the rain comes the sun. After the caterpillar comes the butterfly. This situation you're inquiring about is somehow acting as a catalyst for a major transformation. If you find yourself questioning or having regrets, don't. Try not to second guess yourself or beat yourself up. Nothing happens that is not supposed to. Many of your issues and situations are nothing to be upset about. They are a path to wholeness. You are the one who infuses drama and chaos into the situation. You are always given opportunities to grow and learn. Growth and learning very rarely come about when everything stays status quo and just as you think it should. Be thankful you have this wonderful opportunity. They are afraid to change. Whatever has happened in their past that has caused them to fear change it rises up, okay? So everybody fears change. Let's just be real. Everybody fears change. Change is hard. Change is difficult. Change is stressful. But this is a person who has next level fear of transformation. They want things to stay the same. They want things to stay status quo. They don't want to have to do the work or face the hard stuff in order to change. They want everything to just flow easily without having to put any effort into it. And that's where they're stuck. They're stuck with just standing at the precipice of transformation. I feel like for some of you that you offered them transformation, that the love, the gift that you extended to them was about having this transformation, that that you can have the happiness and the love that you desire. You're going to have to make some changes in order to do that. And instead of taking you up on that offer, they retreated back into their safe zone, and that's where they're stuck now, stuck in not being able to transform. So what is their regret? Yep, moving toward the sun. So the sun is a very masculine energy, so they regret that they didn't take that initiative, okay? That they didn't step into becoming that divine being that they know they could be, that they had an opportunity. I really get this very clear sense that you offered them an opportunity, that you were like the divine feminine extending to them your hand, inviting them to come into their divine masculine. And that can be if you're a feminine, or if you're regardless of gender or the energy that you embody. We all have aspects of masculine and feminine, and the masculine energy is the energy that helps us move forward, helps us to take action and do things. And so their biggest regret is literally that they didn't take the step toward that they didn't say yes to this offer. You made an offer, you extended an opportunity, Spirit extended an opportunity, and instead of moving forward into this yes life, they retreated back into the, I guess it's not the worst, but it's not the best type of energy. They moved away from success and fulfillment and moved toward, kind of, I guess I'm just picking up on like kind of a lack energy, where they just moved into space where they just didn't let themselves fully experience what it was that they desired. So let's move that aside and look at the final card, which is, what is the action they're most likely to take and any potential time frames? So we have the eagle, flashes of insight, unlimited potential, honing your thoughts, opportunistic. So the action that they're likely to take is to finally allow these flashes of insight to come through, okay? To start paying attention and focusing in their energy, their mental space on what is the opportunities, and to take advantage of it. So the eagle has amazing vision, and they can spot like a field mouse from way up in the sky, and then they focus on their target. And like when an eagle is diving or hunting, they will focus on this little tiny field mouse. They'll see it, they'll track it with their eyes, and when they're focused on it, that's the only thing they're focused on. They don't pay attention to anything else. This person is going to become focused. They're going to start focusing on things in a different way, in a new light and new power, and that's going to help them to accomplish the things that they want. I feel like they're going to stop resisting and start going with the flow. The other thing about an eagle is that an eagle doesn't get caught up in storms. They fly above it, okay? Whereas like earlier, this card came through about the drama, right? The transformation. It's like you create the drama and the chaos. That's what they do. They're the person, like if we're using the analogy of the eagle, going with that, the way that they approach things right now with the drama and the chaos, they would be the eagle who flies in the storm and gets like rained on and beat up in the rain, because rather than just floating above the storm and rising above. They're going to get out of that situation where they're going to stop wanting to create drama and chaos in their life and start rising above and soaring above the normal everyday crap that they deal with and the stuff that they create in their own world. So I hope that this reading resonated for you. Please let me know if you have any questions. Take care. Bye. Hey, group 2. Let's go ahead and jump in and see what we have for you. So the first question we're going to ask is, do they miss you? Garden. Public venue, society, crowds, audience, party, a date, community, outdoors. What I'm really getting, first of all, as the song by Bruce Springsteen, Secret Garden, that just came to mind right when I pulled that. And so that is a song about longing, okay? In the song that the Secret Garden, Bruce Springsteen talks about how this woman is a secret garden, that she doesn't just let people in, that she's like, that she treats herself like a sacred space. But once you're in, you understand the beauty of it. And so I feel like what that there's so much fulfillment. Listen to that song if you have a moment. I'm putting it on in the background actually, but that's what I feel like. They felt like they missed that sanctity and sacredness that they felt with you. You look at this, a date. They miss being in public with you. They miss going out and celebrating and doing fun things. They miss feeling like you were their person, and they really adore you, and so they miss your energy. They miss that feeling that they had being with you. There was a sense of community that came with you. Maybe you met their friends, or they met your friends, or you cross-pollinated in some way, and they miss that community, they miss that union and the connection that the two of you had. So what is it that they want you to know? Restriction. Something's holding them back. Whether it's themselves, whether it's spirit, maybe spirit is kind of like not letting them come forward because they have other things that they need to deal with. Or they have some things that they need to heal, but they definitely feel like they're restricted in some way, that they can't come forward. They want you to know that it really isn't because they don't want to or because they don't think of you. It's because something is stopping them, something even outside of themselves is stopping them from being able to come forward. And so I feel like it's very clearly this message of, it's not that I don't want to, it's not that I don't think about you or I don't miss you, it's really that I'm not able to. Something has them bound and unable to move forward. Like I said, that could be their own thoughts. That can be an outside energy. We'll see if any messages come through. But what is holding them back? So we have the Tower in reverse. So they're still picking up the pieces. The person that you're thinking about had some kind of tower moment or has had a series of tower moments where things have fallen apart, things have gotten difficult, things have not been easy. And they're still picking up the pieces. The Tower in reverse is literally about somebody who's kind of recovering from all of the things that happened. Maybe even going into separation with you, not being in communication with you, not having this connection has been the tower for them, that it caused them to really have to face some things about themselves that they didn't really like. They didn't like seeing it. And so they're having to recover from that. They're having to clean up the mess that their actions made. And that's where they are still. They're still picking up the pieces. They're still trying to get things together. So question, do they want to reunite? Look at that. We got the Lovers. So this is interesting because this is two major arcana that were pulled. So they're still at an impasse, okay? Because the Lovers it's all about, I mean, it really is about love. It's about like connection. It's about divine love and intimacy and so on and so forth. But it's also about making a choice. And this is a person who's stuck between two choices. There's you, there's someone else, there's moving toward comfort, there's moving toward peace, there's, moving toward comfort, moving toward what's easy. There's all of these things that are happening. And so it's definitely like they need to make a choice. And it's like, when this shows up, this really says to me that this is not a choice that's like, it's not so much about choosing between two people or choosing between two paths. It's really about choosing your future, choosing your destiny. The choice that they have to make is one that's going to shape their future. It's like whether they're going to really be able to move toward their destiny and move toward their fate and move toward ascending and growing and all of those things, or if they're going to continue to stay stuck and in these lower level limiting type of energies. So that's really what's going on, is that I feel this energy of they love the love, right? They love the love that they feel with you. They love the love that they experienced with you, the way that they felt when they were with you. All of that is amazing to them, but they're afraid to make a choice. It's like this choice feels so heavy that they just keep stalling. They just keep stalling on whether they're going to move forward toward growth or set back into comfort. And that's really what's, when they think about reuniting, where they land with it. So what are their fears? Anger. Okay, so this is a person who fears angering people around them. They may embody a people pleaser type of energy. They may be somebody who is like, well, if I choose my own happiness, it's going to make people angry or people are going to get hurt. And so I can't do that. I want to read from the book for you. It says, a very strong and primal emotion, anger sometimes catches us by surprise. Other times it seethes just under the surface, simmering a long while until it boils over, scalding anyone who is close. Anger is based on fear. Fear of loss of control, fear of not being loved, fear of being judged, fear of not being enough. When anger enters your life, be it yours or someone else's, go beneath the surface and try to address the real fear that has triggered it. Anger doesn't go away without addressing the underlying fear. Alternatively, beware of someone's anger directed towards you. So they probably, you may know this about them, have some kind of like simmering anger under the surface. It may not come out in anger ways. It may come out in passive aggressive ways. It may come out in like snide comments or snarky things like that. They may not be what you would consider an outwardly angry person, but they definitely have anger under the surface, but they're also afraid of other people's anger. They're afraid that if they speak their truth, that they stand in their own desires and go toward what it is that they really want, that it's going to anger people, that they're going to be they won't be loved, they will be a disappointment, people will not like them. And so that's part of why they stay in this energy of being stuck. So what are their regrets? Book. Memory, hidden mystery, secrets, the unknown, philosophy, intellect, knowledge, and education. So what I'm seeing here with this card, what they regret is not moving toward the mystery, okay? That they kept secrets. They kept secrets from you. They kept secrets from others. They weren't entirely candid or upfront about things that were going on in their lives. I feel like for some of them, they may have they may have gotten overly intellectual about it, that they went into a space where they're like, I'm just going to think about this and let me look at my thoughts instead of looking at their feelings. And so they tried to approach this from a very like thinking space rather than a heart space. And sometimes when we do that, it's a defense, when we overly intellectualize, when we try to get all the answers and look at things in objectively without looking at the heart space. It can be actually limiting and kind of a defense mechanism. So that's what they regret most, is that they did that. And also what I'm seeing here, of course with the secrets, but they also regret that you're only a memory, okay? That you're hidden from them, that this connection is hidden, that they didn't move toward it. And so they do feel like a lot of regret in their memories too. So when they think about you, when they think about this connection and how things went down and maybe how things didn't work out or worked out or whatever, and that they feel a lot of regret about that. They feel a lot of, when they think of you, they think of you with a sense of pining and longing and regret because of how things went. So final card is, what action are they likely to take in any time frame if it comes through. So we have geese on a quest, migration, relocation, dependable navigational skills, cyclical, semper fi. Okay, so they are going to take some action to move in a different way. This may physically be like literally moving somewhere. It may be having like an internal journey where they start to transform and move forward in their life in a different way. And so that is definitely they are going to move and take some action and go ahead and shift things. I want to look at, I don't know when geese migrate, so I'm going to look. Let me see. I don't really have an answer, so I can't really see it. But I would suggest looking at maybe when geese migrate, if you're interested, to see what time frame it might be looking toward. But I feel like there's going to be some energy of movement. Okay, so you may even want to look around and be cognizant if you see a lot of geese in your environment, that may be indications that action is happening and things are going forward. If you see geese migrating, I really feel like it's going to be a sign for you to really take that and go and recognize that, again, even if you're not seeing it yourself, that the shift is happening. They're definitely going to take some action to move things ahead. They're not going to stay stuck forever, which is a really great thing. Eventually, they're going to have to take some action and get out of their own way, because that's really the only thing that's stopping them at this point. So I hope this reading was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions. Take care. Bye. Hey, group 3. Let's go ahead and jump in and see what's going on with your love connection, your twin flame, soulmate, whatever label you like to use. We're going to go ahead and start out with the Intuit Oracle and ask the question, do they miss you? Wow. So we have church, okay, and tradition, programming, marriage, so on and so forth. What I get from this right off the jump is that their energy is that where they are trapped, caught, maybe trapped isn't the right word, committed in a different kind of situation, some kind of traditional situation. It could be a marriage. It could be just that they have certain beliefs and things that they feel like they have to abide by, that they're definitely caught up in that energy. So I feel like they have kind of shut themselves off to try and not think about this connection. So if you were to ask them, do you miss me? They would probably be like, I don't even think about you. But it feels like it's a defense mechanism. It feels like it's shut off. The energy I'm getting from this is a very shut off, closed type of energy, where it's not necessarily that they aren't thinking of you, okay, or that they don't miss you. I think if they were to get really honest and go down deep inside, that they would absolutely feel that they miss you. You're connected through this collective consciousness, but their traditions, their programming, the dogma, their family values, even religion is keeping them bound. This might be somebody who perhaps shares children with another person and who has moved on from this connection with you and has made a commitment in some way to maintain what they feel is the proper family values. And so they've just kind of shut you out. But underneath it all, I'm getting very clearly that they feel this connection. That perhaps when they're asleep, perhaps when their defenses are down, they feel your connection and they feel your energy coming through. So let's go ahead and see what it is that they want you to know. Celebration. So they're in a space right now. Maybe there's been like a graduation. Something is going on in their life that they're celebrating. They're really trying. I feel like this person, what they want you to know is like, I know that I maybe didn't choose you in this situation at this point, but I'm really trying to honor my family values. I'm really trying to do the right thing and be the right person, be the person I think I need to be. Even if it means I'm not entirely happy or I'm not able to come towards you and choose this connection, can you please be happy for me anyway? Can you please help me celebrate the fact that I'm maybe working to break curses, generational curses in my life, and to be a better person than the people were before me? Can you please celebrate that with me? I know it hurts. I know that it's not something that you wanted. I know that you really want us to have this connection and this love, and I really, truthfully, at the core, I want it too. But right now I have to do what I feel is right. Can you celebrate with me? And can you find something in your own life to celebrate as well? They don't want you to be unhappy. I'm getting that message very clearly, that they do not want you to be lonely or isolated or suffering because of this. They want you to find peace and happiness and joy and celebration in your own life as well. So what's holding them back? The Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is kind of an immature. Pages are like a young energy, a little bit immature, impulsive, doesn't think things through as clearly as they possibly can. There's just this part of what's holding him back is that they're trying to focus on something that they're creating in the future. Okay, they're trying to focus their energies on that. It could be a job, it could be a creative project, it could even be perhaps some of them are have a child, like a newborn, or having a child, and they're really trying to focus on that. And they're really definitely thinking, like really spending a lot of time thinking about things, really trying to spend a lot of time, trying to overanalyze the situation. But they're definitely, I'm just getting this energy of being just immature, just not quite as mature as you'd like them to be. And part of that is what's keeping them stuck and being unable to come forward and to come towards you in a meaningful way. Because they can't see the forest for the trees. Okay, they're not quite yet able to see the bigger picture. Okay, they may even be someone who is very smart, very intellectual, very intelligent, and who's able to actually use that intelligence and wit and that type of energy to kind of, I don't really want to say it's not, because it's not manipulate, because I'm not really getting a manipulative type of energy, but a little bit more of a trickster type of energy. Someone who uses their wit and intellect to, how do I want to say this? Muddy the waters a little bit, I guess, is how it's coming through. Where they're able to use their words and their thoughts to kind of paint a picture for people in their world. And they use that to get what they want. So it does feel like manipulation, I guess. I really hesitate to use those type of words, but it does feel like that they use that, maybe telling you things like, no, of course I love you, you're everything I always wanted. And then their actions show something different. And then you feel confused. You're like, I don't understand that. But they are definitely, those behaviors are keeping them stuck and not able to move forward. So do they want to reunite with you? Interesting. Ace of Wands. There is certainly an energy of wanting to come forward in a passionate way. So they do have this energy. When they think of you, here's the thing, is that they don't think about you often. I feel like they really try to shut you out of their awareness. But when they think of you, it's literally like I can actually feel it in my body, that they have like a visceral reaction. They have like a physical passion response to you. So it could literally be like they instantly feel like sexually turned on, or their heartbeat increases, or they have like butterflies in their stomach. So as much as they try to shut you out of their awareness, when you come into their awareness, they feel this burst of like sexual, creative type of energy, which is probably why they keep shoving you out of their awareness, because it makes them uncomfortable. Like, how can this person still have this impact on me? How can it be that we haven't spoken in months or years or whatever it is, and they're still, every time they come across my mind, I'm still like some teenager who can't control their hormones. So I feel like that's definitely when they think about you, their body, their whole experience kind of has this response that tells them that they really should, that they want to come back towards you. That's why they guard against it so heavily. So what are their fears? Oh my God, you guys, I swear, you cannot make this shit up. We have sexual energy, and sexual energy, that is what they're afraid of. Holy cow. They're really super afraid of the intensity of this sexual energy that they feel towards you. So for some of you, this person may be, for some of you, this may be a person that you're the same gender. And perhaps they're strongly identified with being like heterosexual. And then they met you, and suddenly they're like, for some reason, I'm having all these like fantasies and desires and all of this energy towards somebody, and it's confusing. I don't understand it. But for the rest of you, I'm going to read the card to you. It says, in the purest sense, sexual energy is not an energy to be expanded from you. It is a state to reside in. The first and second chakras are the root of our sexual feelings. When you use this very potent energy to manipulate people and situations, okay, here we go. You are doing yourself a huge disservice. When you expand your life force energy up from your first two chakras and incorporate the energy from your heart and your crown, you can experience the most complete and divine experience of sexual energy possible. This doesn't even have to include another person. When you can merge your connection to Creator with your connection to the earth without any filters or blocks between the two, you will experience a complete and true connection. We act as the conduit between heaven and earth. And when we can put ourselves into this energy at any given time, we are not tempted to use our sexual energy in a way that feeds our need for validation. Nor are we easily manipulated by another's outputting of sexual energy. This card is asking you to look at where sexual energy is directed in your life. So they're afraid of that. I feel like you really brought this sexual energy to life in this person, like in a way that they may not even have known was possible. And it really freaked them out. It really kind of, they understood their power, and they also, the power that you had, okay, that you're like very seductive and very sensual and very sexual to them. And it's like, why would anybody not want that, right? But if you're not really in control of it, or you feel manipulated by it, it can be really intimidating. They're afraid. They're intimidated by this energy of sexuality that they feel towards you. It intimidates them. It scares the shit out of them, to be perfectly frank with you, about because they are aware of how intense and how strong it is. Beautiful. So what are their regrets? Snowflake. Okay, so here's the thing. They felt like this situation was perfect. It was precise. You were like their person. This is what they may have even actually said these words to you. I feel like you were meant for me. I feel like you were made for me. Let's say that you did have sex with this person, and your bodies literally felt like a perfect fit. Like, I mean, I know that sounds cheesy as hell, but if you've ever had that experience, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, where it's like when you like sleep together, like the spooning is perfect. It's not uncomfortable. You fit together like you were literally carved out of the same wood, and two halves. Okay. I know that sounds really cheesy, so just sit with me with this. But they felt that, you felt it, this energy of completion, of wholeness, of unity. They felt that you were their perfect other half. Excuse me, I had to take a sip. That you were precise, that you were made for each other. It's like two puzzle pieces that fit together perfectly. That's how they felt about you, how they feel about you, which is why they keep shoving you out of their awareness. But they also understand that this was delicate and they didn't handle it the way that they should have. They understand that they kind of approached it with some not so conscious energies, and it really caused a lot of heartache and a lot of pain. They feel like they know that they hurt you. They know that they didn't handle things well because they didn't take care of it. They didn't handle it carefully. And so that's their biggest regret, that they recognize that you were their perfect fit, that the two of you had such an amazing connection, such an amazing energy, and they didn't handle it with the care that it deserved. Beautiful. So what action are they likely to take, and what time frame? Okay, so it says when things work against you, persistence pays off. Repetition, determined in making dreams real. So I feel like this is a situation that's going to take a lot of time to resolve. They're going to have to persist. So whatever action they're likely to take is going to require them to be persistent. They're going to have to be determined. They're not going to be able to just phone it in. Excuse me. With this, they're going to have to really dedicate themselves to making their dreams come true. They may even have to commit to their own happiness in a way that they haven't in the past. And that may be a really uncomfortable thing for them to do. But they're going to have to reach a point where they're ready to make their dreams into reality and commit to their own happiness. And when they do that, that's when they'll be able to start moving toward, maybe even coming back towards you at some point. The energy I'm getting from this is that it's going to be some time before they're in that space. There's something else that they're focused on right now, something else that's distracting them. And so it may be a while before they actually are able to come forward in any substantive way. But there will come a point where they decide to make themselves a priority and make their own dreams come true. So I hope this reading was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions. Take care. Bye.